don't know why this government is, happy and saying, and people are contacting Sowore and saying, remove it. And if they feel very strongly about it, we can all go and test it in courts.
Yes.
Really, I think that's the end. The end, look, in cinema, the end, all of it will be in courts. We'll go and test it in courts.
Yes.
And Sowore will have to prove why he called the president names, the claim he called a criminal. You have to provide his evidence, and the DSS will provide the counter evidence. So,
activist Sowore, who has been making headlines over a tweet he made on X, in which he called President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a criminal, revealed on Tuesday that presidential spokesperson Bayo Ononuga privately messaged him on WhatsApp, asking him to delete the post. According to Sowore, the post was in response to Tinubu's claim in Brazil that there was no more corruption in Nigeria. Ononuga argued that Sowore had misinterpreted the president's statement, insisting that Tinubu was only referring to transparency in foreign exchange sourcing. Sowore rejected the request, stating that it was an attempt to dictate how citizens should interpret public statements, and accused Ononuga of being complicit in the harassment of critics by state security services. He wrote in part, "What is more troubling is that in Nigeria today, anyone who dares to criticize the president is instantly subjected to harassment by the DSS, political thugs, and every coercive instrument the state can muster. I once thought perhaps you were unaware of such abuse, but it is now clear you are complicit in this regard. It is you who has misfired. Your request reflects not only poor judgment, but also the mindset of the principle you represent." Well, Sowore went on to state that he has known Ononuga for decades, even during the time that his student union days, and also as a publisher. And I'll take reactions to this tweet. And this is from Olaiya, who wrote, "This is classic Tinubu era. Do not criticize the king. Politics. Bayo Ononuga trying to privately police public opinion is exactly the problem. They want to control the narrative and the citizen. The truth is simple. If the president's statement was clear, Nigerians wouldn't have misinterpreted it. Leadership is not about ambiguity or hiding behind aides to explain away words, and dragging the DSS into every critic's shadow is proof of how intolerant and insecure this government has become. Instead of threatening or cajoling citizens to delete posts, Tinubu's team should focus on deleting corruption, deleting poverty, and deleting the hardship choking Nigerians daily. That's the real misfire here." Well, another ex-user wrote, "Brotherly," we know where brotherly came from, "Brotherly, good day. No well-meaning person would say you should not criticize the president or any public official for that matter. However, you can't call the president of your country, or anyone for that matter, a criminal when no court of law has pronounced such. Or are you a judge?" And that's the real question here. "We appreciate your usual courage, but we'll advise you to embrace greater objectivity and maturity. You are a role model to some youth. Be blessed." Another ex-user wrote, "And later now, you will be advocating for infringement of Nigerians' rights. Haven't you infringed on someone's right of privacy by leaking his private chat with you? You would have issued a public statement to still demand the deletion. He chose to go private and you leaked it." And the reason this ex-user is stating this is because in Sowore's tweet there, he had leaked Bayo Ononuga's private WhatsApp chat. And that was the response from that. Here you go. He had leaked that chat, which, a lot of ex-users, and even myself, I question, why would Sowore actually leak this? Because this was a private message. But I don't even understand what happened to Bayo Ononuga. The DSS has intervened here. I mean, I know there's some sort of relationship that they might have. Sowore has insisted that he is not going to delete this tweet. Dr. Bati, I don't know why Bayo Ononuga would have thought that Sowore would even, abide by or listen to him in the first place.
Okay, both men involved are doing their job.
Yes.
Sowore is an activist. He's a resilient, confirmed activist who has even served notice that the struggle continues.
The struggle continues.
Whatever anybody says or does to him. So he has lived up to his declaration that he's a sworn enemy of convention. Or is it government? I hope I'll be right to say that. So whatever Mr. Ononuga says to him, you already know where he stands.
I'm going to respond.
By the same measure, Mr. Ononuga is doing his job. He's the vuvuzela of the administration. He's a spokesperson. So he will say, well, this thing you have said about the president is not right. The president of Nigeria is not a criminal. In other words, there's no court of law who has declared the president a criminal. And I was making the point yesterday, in parentheses, that look, people should know that while you have the right to speak, you also have the right to respect other people's integrity. their right to the dignity of the human person. You cannot just come and say Mr. X or Y is a criminal when he has not been so declared by a court of law. And that's why, the Cybercrime Act, Section 24, 1822 was cited, by the DSS. Now, in this matter, X, that's the platform, said, look, okay, the man is, we will not pull down the post. But you now find Mr. Ononuga saying, well, as a citizen, President Tinubu is not a criminal. So in both cases, I think that both men are doing their job. But what we should know within the public space is that while citizens have the right to express themselves, they also have the responsibility to respect the rights of other people.
Yes.
So that's where we strike a balance in this particular matter. And as for Minister Umahi coming to Lagos to show empathy, to look at the flooding situation, I think that the lesson in Umahi's example is that when you put a man who is a specialist in that area, he's a civil engineer, so he knows about engineering, he's not relying on contractors. When something happens, he goes there himself to go and look at it, and he can, on his own, offer professional opinion about design, about construction, about issues. I think I like that. This idea of putting touts in important positions, appointing carpenters into positions. No, I'm not mentioning anybody. I'm just saying when government makes appointment, it's always good to put the right person in the right position.
Yeah, because he's an engineer.
And I think David Umahi fits that prescription as a good example.
Fantastic, good point.
So real quickly, as regards to Sowore and what's it called, debacle.
Yes.
So, Mr. Ononuga, what the DSS is saying, they were happy on the criminal word, which I've condemned, which I've said it wasn't fine to call the president, criminal. But Mr. Ononuga was happy on the fact that, this has been said, that has been said. With due respect, yes. I don't think it was right for Sowore to have put that private message out there. And I'll say this. They have a history together. Sowore stated that in the days of the struggle, these people, they were both in the same struggle. Mr. Ononuga's paper, The News, was a platform for most of the student activists. In fact, Sowore said he did some work with The News, Mr. Ononuga platform. The reason why Mr. Ononuga probably would have messaged him is out of the fact that, okay, I know this guy before and everything.
Yes.
What Mr. Ononuga, although, was saying was different from what the DSS was saying, so it's two different things. And I don't know why this government is, happy and saying, and people are contacting Sowore and saying, remove it. And if they feel very strongly about it, we can all go and test it in courts.
Yes.
Really, I think that's the end. The end, look, in cinema, the end, all of it will be in courts. We'll go and test it in courts.
Yes.
And Sowore will have to prove why he called the president names. The claim he called a criminal. You have to provide his evidence, and the DSS will provide their counter evidence. So, but prior to that, I think since you have known this person before, you've had dealings before, even if he sent you a personal message out of what you shared, it was not necessary bringing out in public glare. But I don't even know what is even happening. There are many things that happen that we don't know in this country.
Well, in Showore's favor, he said he cleared with Mr. Ononuga.
But Mr. Ononuga never replied. He never replied. So if he didn't reply you and didn't give you the chance to share it publicly, then there was no point. But even at that, Dr. Abati, we are human beings. We have personal relationship before now. If we have things before, we should, we should not.
It wasn't based on the official, it was based on we have a relationship, let's reason together. That was
Sowore says the struggle continues.
That's why I was asking by Ononuga, why did you think that message will help? This is what Sowore does. He's a strong opposition. What does he say? Revolution now. Well, all right. The struggle continues. We'll follow up on this.